All right, everyone get comfy because we're about to take a deep dive into a career you probably haven't given much thought to. Mattress making.
Yeah, you might think you know what to expect going in, but trust me, by the time we're done, you'll never look at your bed the same way again.
Right. We're diving deep with insights from RoleCatcher. They're a career guidance website with all kinds of resources about becoming a mattress maker. They've got detailed job descriptions, industry trends, even sample interview questions.
And what I find fascinating is how they highlight this blend of tradition and technology. It's not just factories churning out identical mattresses. Some makers still use techniques like hand tufting, which has been around for centuries.
Hand tufting, so they're really sewing each mattress by hand. What's the advantage of that over using machines?
Well, for one thing, you get that classic handcrafted look. But it's also about durability and weight distribution. A traditional mattress maker might use a biscuit tuft, for example. It creates these little pockets that help distribute your weight more evenly across the mattress.
So less pressure points and the mattress lasts longer.
Exactly. It's that attention to detail that really sets those mattresses apart.
Okay, so we've got this image of craftspeople meticulously stitching each mattress. But then we hear factory setting, and it kind of bursts the bubble a bit.
True, the romance of a cozy workshop might not always be the reality. RoleCatcher's pretty upfront about the typical work environment. It can be physically demanding, often fast-paced, and, yeah, probably kind of noisy.
So maybe not for everyone.
Yeah.
But the source also mentioned that a lot of mattress makers end up starting their own businesses. What's driving that trend?
Well, think about it. Once you've mastered the craft, you've learned about different materials and how to problem solve on the fly. Why not become your own boss? It's like any specialized trade. There's always room for those who want to branch out, offer something unique, cater to a specific niche.
You know what I find interesting? I never really thought about the business side of mattress making before. But it makes sense. Everybody needs a mattress. People are always willing to spend money to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher mentioned that more and more people are looking for customization these days. Like athletes who need extra support for their joints, or if you have allergies, you need to find materials that won't bother you.
So it's not just comfort. It's about finding the perfect mattress for your needs.
Exactly. And speaking of what you're looking for in a mattress, let's talk about the materials. RoleCatcher goes into a lot of detail about all the different materials used in mattresses these days. Each one has its own pros and cons. Comfort support, how well it regulates temperature.
Temperature regulation. That makes it sound really high-tech.
Well, it basically comes down to how well the materials dissipate heat. You know how some mattresses sleep hot?
Yeah.
That's often because of the type of foam that's used. Memory foam tends to trap heat, but things like gel-infused foam or natural latex are much better at regulating temperature.
So you're saying if I'm always hot when I sleep, I should be looking for a different kind of mattress.
It could make a big difference. It's kind of like choosing the right clothes. You wouldn't wear a wool sweater on a hot day, right?
Yeah. Makes sense. This is really making me think about how much goes into designing a mattress. It's like a combination of art and science.
It really is. And RoleCatcher mentioned that attention to detail and problem-solving skills are really important for this career.
Yeah, if you're hand tufting a mattress, one misplaced stitch can mess up the whole thing, right?
Exactly. And it's not just hand tufting. Every material behaves differently. Mattress makers need to be able to think on their feet and come up with solutions when something unexpected happens. Like, let's say you're making a custom mattress with springs and a layer of latex. You need to make sure those materials work together to provide the right amount of support and comfort.
So you can't just follow a set of instructions. You have to use your experience to figure out the best way to do things.
Exactly. And those are valuable skills to have. You can use them in all kinds of careers. Upholstery, furniture, making even set design.
Any job where you're working with textiles or creating something three-dimensional.
Exactly. It's a good foundation to have. And speaking of foundations, it takes a strong back to do this kind of work. RoleCatcher's pretty clear about the physical demands of the job.
Yeah, we've talked about the heavy lifting and the repetitive motions. But working in a factory all day to meet deadlines, that must be mentally draining too.
It can be. It's not always easy. It takes a certain kind of person to thrive in that environment. But at the end of the day, you get to step back and look at what you created, something that people rely on to get a good night's sleep. That's pretty rewarding.
Definitely. So for our listeners who are thinking about becoming a mattress maker, what does that process look like? Well, RoleCatcher says you'd probably start with an apprenticeship, learning from someone with years of experience.
Right. It's a lot of hands-on training. You're not just reading about it in a book. You're actually getting a feel for the materials, learning how to use different tools and techniques.
So you might start by doing some basic tasks, prepping materials, observing the more experienced mattress makers.
And over time, you take on more responsibility.
And once you learn the basics, what's next?
RoleCatcher says a lot of mattress makers end up specializing. Like, you might become known for a certain type of mattress, or maybe you focus on working with a particular material.
So you could be like the spring expert or something.
Exactly. And as you gain experience, you could move into more senior roles, leading a team of mattress makers, training new apprentices.
It sounds like there's a lot of room for growth.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not a dead-end job by any means.
And RoleCatcher also stresses the importance of continuing to learn new things.
Oh, absolutely. The mattress industry is always changing. There are always new materials being developed, new technologies to incorporate.
With sleep tracking sensors and stuff.
Exactly. It's an exciting time to be in the industry.
Yeah, who knows what they'll come up with next.
Right.
So to wrap things up, it sounds like mattress making isn't just a job. It's a craft with a long history and a bright future.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's a blend of tradition and innovation. And at the end of the day, you're helping people get a better night's sleep.
And who doesn't love a good night's sleep? Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We hope you learned something new about the unexpected world of mattress making.
It was a pleasure joining you.
And to all our listeners out there, sleep tight.